Hello there. Hello, Amy and Evelyn. You were the first ones up today. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, everyone, to another Fireside Reading as we continue with Siddhartha. I hope your July the 4th was wonderful and very enjoyable and a nice long weekend for everyone. I've missed finding out what's going to happen next. We left at a very inauspicious time when Siddhartha had just seen Kamala. I wonder what's going to happen. We'll find out. After a while, the servant returned, asking him who had been waiting, Siddhartha, to follow him, conducted him, who was following him, without a word, into a pavilion where Kamala was lying on a couch, and left him alone with her. Let's see what happens. Welcome to a Fireside Reading of Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Chapter 5, Part 2. "Weren't you already standing out there yesterday, greeting me?" asked Kamala. "It's true that I've already seen and greeted you yesterday. But didn't you yesterday wear a beard and long hair and dust in your hair? You have observed well. You have seen everything. You have seen Siddhartha, the son of a Brahmin, who has left his home to become a samana, and who has been a samana for 3 years. But now I have left that path, and came into this city, and the first one I met, even before I had entered the city, was you. To say this, I have come to you, O Kamala. You are the first woman whom Siddhartha is not addressing with his eyes turned to the ground. Never again I want to turn my eyes to the ground when I'm coming across a beautiful woman." Kamala smiled and played with her fan of peacock's feathers, and asked, "And only to tell me this, Siddhartha has come to me?" "To tell you this, and to thank you for being so beautiful. And if it doesn't displease you, Kamala, I would like to ask you to be my friend and teacher, for I know nothing yet of that art which you have mastered in the highest degree." At this, Kamala laughed aloud. "Never before has this happened to me, my friend, that a samana from the forest came to me and wanted to learn from me. Never before this has happened to me, that a samana came to me with long hair and an old torn loincloth. Many young men come to me, and there are also sons of Brahmins among them, but they come in beautiful clothes. They come in fine shoes. They have perfume in their hair and money in their pouches. This is, O Samana, how the young men are like who come to me." Quoth Siddhartha, "Already I am starting to learn from you. Even yesterday I was already learning. I have already taken off my beard, have combed my hair, have oil in my hair. There is little which is still missing in me, O excellent one. Fine clothes, fine shoes, money in my pouch. You shall know Siddhartha has set harder goals for himself than such trifles, and he has reached them. How shouldn't I reach that goal which I have set for myself yesterday? To be your friend and to learn the joys of love from you. You'll see that I'll learn quickly, Kamala. I have already learned harder things than what you're supposed to teach me. And now let's get to it. You aren't satisfied with Siddhartha as he is with oil in his hair, but without clothes, without shoes, without money?" Laughing, Kamala exclaimed, "No, my dear, he doesn't satisfy me yet. Clothes are what he must have, pretty clothes, and shoes, pretty shoes, and lots of money in his pouch, and gifts for Kamala. Do you know it now, Samana from the forest? Did you mark my words?" Yes, I have marked your words, Siddhartha exclaimed. How should I not mark words which are coming from such a mouth? Your mouth is like a freshly cracked fig, Kamala. My mouth is red and fresh as well. It will be a suitable match for yours. You'll see. But tell me, beautiful Kamala, aren't you at all afraid of the samana from the forest, who has come to learn how to make love? Whatever for should I be afraid of a samana, a stupid samana from the forest, who is coming from the jackals and doesn't even know yet what women are? Oh, he's strong, this samana, and he isn't afraid of anything. He could force you, beautiful girl. He could kidnap you. He could hurt you. No, samana, I am not afraid of this. Did any samana or Brahmin ever fear someone might come and grab him and steal his learning and his religious devotion and his depth of thought? No, for they are his very own, and he would only give away from those whatever he is willing to give, and to whomever he is willing to give. Like this it is. Precisely like this it is also with Kamana and with the pleasures of love. Beautiful and red is Kamala's mouth, but just try to kiss it against Kamala's will, and you will not obtain a single drop of sweetness from it, which knows how to give so many sweet things. You are learning easily, Siddhartha. Thus you should also learn this. Love can be obtained by begging, buying, receiving it as a gift, finding it in the street, but it cannot be stolen. In this you have come up with the wrong path. No, it would be a pity if a pretty young man like you would want to tackle it in such a wrong manner. Siddhartha bowed with a smile. It would be a pity, Kamala, you are so right. It would be such a great pity. No, I shall not lose a single drop of sweetness from your mouth, nor you from mine. So it is settled. Siddhartha will return once he'll have what he still lacks, clothes, shoes, money. But speak, lovely Kamala. Couldn't you still give me one small advice? An advice? Why not? Who wouldn't like to give an advice to a poor, ignorant samana who is coming from the jackals of the forest? Dear Kamala, thus advise me where I should go to that I'll find these 3 things more quickly. Friend, many would like to know this. You must do what you've learned and ask for money, clothes, and shoes in return. There is no other way for a poor man to obtain money. What might you be able to do? I can think, I can wait, I can fast. Nothing else? Nothing. But yes, I can also write poetry. Would you like to give me a kiss for a poem? I would like to, if I will like your poem. What would be its title? Siddhartha spoke, after he had thought about it for a moment, these verses. Into her shady grove stepped the pretty Kamala. At the grove's entrance stood the brown samana. Deeply seeing the lotus's blossom, bowed that man, and smiling, Kamala thanked. More lovely, thought the young man, than offerings for gods. More lovely is offering to pretty Kamala. Kamala loudly clapped her hands so that the golden bracelets clanged, Beautiful are your verses, O brown summoner, and truly I'm losing nothing when I'm giving you a kiss for them." She beckoned him with her eyes. He tilted his head so that his face touched hers, and placed his mouth on that mouth which was like a freshly cracked fig. For a long time Kamala kissed him, and with a deep astonishment Siddhartha felt how she taught him, how wise she was, how she controlled him, rejected him, lured him, and how after this first one there was to be a long, a well-ordered, well-tested sequence of kisses, every one different from the others, he was still to receive. Breathing deeply, he remained standing where he was, and was in this moment astonished like a child about the cornucopia of knowledge and things worth learning, which revealed itself before his eyes. "Very beautiful are your verses," exclaimed Kamala. "If I was rich, I would give you pieces of gold for them. But it will be difficult for you to earn thus much money with verses as you need, for you need a lot of money if you want to be Kamala's friend." "The way you're able to kiss, Kamala," stammered Siddhartha. "Yes, this I am able to do. Therefore I do not lack clothes, shoes, bracelets, and all beautiful things. But what will become of you? Aren't you able to do anything else but thinking, fasting, making poetry?" "I also know the sacrificial songs," said Siddhartha, "but I do not want to sing them any more. I also know magic spells, but I do not want to speak them any more. I have read the scriptures." "Stop!" Kamala interrupted him. "You're able to read and write?" "Certainly I can do this. Many people can do this." "Most people can't. I also can't do it. It is very good that you're able to read and write. Very good. You will also still find use for the magic spells." In this moment a maid came running in and whispered a message into her mistress's ear. "There's a visitor for me," exclaimed Kamala. "Hurry and get yourself away, Siddhartha. Nobody may see you here. Remember this. Tomorrow I will see you again." But to the maid she gave the order to give the pious Brahmin white upper garments. Without fully understanding what was happening to him, Siddhartha found himself being dragged away by the maid, brought into a garden house, avoiding the direct path, being given upper garments as a gift, led into the bushes, and urgently admonished to get himself out of the grove as soon as possible without being seen. Contently he did as he had been told. Being accustomed to the forest, he managed to get out of the grove and over the hedge without making a sound. Contently he returned to the city, carrying the rolled-up garments under his arm. At the inn where travellers stay, he positioned himself by the door. Without words, he asked for food. Without a word, he accepted a piece of rice cake. Perhaps as soon as tomorrow, he thought, I will ask no one for food any more. Suddenly, pride flared up in him. He was no Samana any more. It was no longer becoming to him to beg. He gave the rice cake to a dog and remained without food. Simple is the life which people lead in this world here, thought Siddhartha. It presents no difficulties. Everything was difficult, toilsome, and ultimately hopeless when I was still a Samana. Now everything is easy like that lesson in kissing, which Kamala is giving me. I need clothes and money, nothing else. These are small, near goals. They won't make a person lose any sleep. He had already discovered Kamala's house in the city long before. There he turned up the following day. "Things are working out well," she called out to him. "They are expecting you at Kamaswami's. He is the richest merchant of the city. If he'll like you, he'll accept you into his service. Be smart, Brown Samana. I had others tell him about you. Be polite towards him. He is very powerful. But don't be too modest. I do not want you to become his servant. You shall become his equal, or else I won't be satisfied with you. Kamaswami is starting to get old and lazy. If he'll like you, he'll entrust you with a lot." Siddhartha thanked her and laughed, and when she found out that he had not eaten anything yesterday and today, she sent for bread and fruits and treated him to it. "You've been lucky," she said when they parted. "I'm opening one door after another for you. How come? Do you have a spell?" Siddhartha said, "Yesterday I told you I knew how to think, to wait, and to fast, but you thought this was of no use. But it is useful for many things, Kamala. You'll see. You'll see that the stupid samanas are learning and able to do many pretty things in the forest, which the likes of you aren't capable of. The day before yesterday I was still a shaggy beggar. As soon as yesterday I have kissed Kamala, and soon I'll be a merchant and have money and all those things you insist upon." "Well, yes," she admitted. "But where would you be without me? What would you be if Kamala wasn't helping you?" "Dear Kamala," said Siddhartha, and straightened up to his full height, "when I came to you into your grove, I did the first step. It was my resolution to learn love from this most beautiful woman. From that moment on, when I had made this resolution, I also knew that I would carry it out. I knew that you would help me. At your first glance at the entrance of the grove, I already knew it." "But what if I hadn't been willing?" "You were willing. Look, Kamala, when you throw a rock into the water, it will speed on the fastest course to the bottom of the water. This is how it is when Siddhartha has a goal, a resolution. Siddhartha does nothing. He waits, he thinks, he fasts. But he passes through the things of the world like a rock through water, without doing anything, without stirring. He is drawn. He lets himself fall. His goal attracts him because he doesn't let anything enter his soul which might oppose the goal. This is what Siddhartha has learned among the samanas. This is what fools call magic, and of which they think it would be effected by means of the demons. Nothing is effected by demons. There are no demons. Everyone can perform magic. Everyone can reach his goals if he is able to think, if he is able to wait, if he is able to fast." Kamala listened to him. She loved his voice. She loved the look from his eyes. "Perhaps it is so," she said quietly. "As you say, friend. But perhaps it is also like this, that Siddhartha is a handsome man, that his glance pleases the women, that therefore good fortune is coming towards him." With one kiss, Siddhartha bid his farewell. "I wish that it should be this way, my teacher, that my glance shall please you, that always good fortune shall come to me out of your direction." Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to see you tomorrow, I hope, same time and place, 5 Pacific at Fireside Reading on Instagram. All the chapters are eventually put up onto the YouTube channel, Fireside Reading, and also check out firesidereading.com if you'd like. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, everyone, do stay very, very well.